Merry meet, my lovelies. Today we're going to be talking about the magic of the name of Carolyn. The name Carolyn comes from the French, which then comes from the Latin. So it comes from the French feminine form of Carolus, so Carol, and that comes in Caroline, and that comes from the Latin of Charles, from the Germanic name Carl. So that I went down the historical name rabbit hole with that one. Carolus, Carolyn, Caroline, Carol, Charles, Carl. Carl is the OG Carolyn. Again, we're looking at names that are a derivative of masculine. One day, we'll just find a name that was like always been feminine. You rock it, girl. But you know what? Carolyn, you rock it, girl, regardless of where that name came from. So the Germanic name Karl means man, apparently. And there is an alternate theory that says that it meant army or warrior. Carolyn is Carolyn is spelt Carolyn. Carolyn. And that is the alternative spelling of the Caroline. Caroline. And then you can also spell it with a K, you can spell it with an E on the end, you can spell it with double N-E on the end. All the sources say that it came from the masculine name Charles. The Germanic and French meaning is that of a free man, so a free person. In English, it means little and womanly. So, I mean, Carolyn is taller than me, so I don't think little applies to this, because I mean maybe I'm little, so I can't judge what other little is if it's a little bit bigger than me. But yeah, she is taller than me, and I don't think I've met a Carolyn that is shorter than me. I'm like 5'3", like 5'4". Leave me alone. So Carolyn means free woman, and it comes from the Middle Low German Kerl. It can also mean beloved and valuable in Spanish, from the word caro. Caro? I'm trying to put accents on things that I don't even know what the accent is meant to be. Carolyn is a variant of Carolyn and diminutive form of Karl or Carla. Because of its Germanic and English heritage, Carolyn would be a name in northern Grothenor. So I'd say more particularly here, okay? Because like you come down past the Edgington Forest, and past the forest of Lunasa, and this is kind of Frenchish down here, and then it's more Germanic up here. So the more Central European countries are reflected in that space. I say Central, Western Central. So you've got English, French, German, Austrian, the ones that still have green and aren't looking at more tundra. Yeah, it's, you know what? If your country looked like the Black Forest, or like it has parts of the Black Forest in it, that's where it goes. It would be considered a very pretty name where Wolflock lives. Let me have a look here. Now, the interesting thing about this, it's a pretty name in Middle Puinteyle, and I believe that the meaning of free and freedom would be applicable to this one. So, now, I feel like the name Carolyn doesn't lend itself to the concept of free as in the airy, look, I'm free so I can do whatever I want with no responsibility sort of free, but it's kind of like the strong woman who stands there in her own power and says, no, I fought for this, I earned this, I am free. That sort of core strength within that says, No. And that word makes me happy lately. Just being able to say no to things and saying it from a place of resolution where there is the fear of conflict just sort of breaks like water over a rock. Oh, that is such a good sense of freedom in that. That power lends you freedom. Your position in life and your capabilities are what make you free. I say position in life, I mean the one that you make for yourself. Yeah, so I think that's where that sense of freedom comes in with the name Carolyn. Now, the pronunciation of Carolyn can be a bit tricky because as you can hear me saying it, I'm saying Carolyn. So it sounds like Carolyn. The R seems to be hidden underneath an invisible H. It's got that softness to it. Whereas in Puinteyle, particularly in the regions that speak Nord-Lichterwald, they would really lean into that R and they'd lean into that first syllable, so it would be Carolyn. Even a stronger R than that, I kind of, whenever I roll my R's, I particularly add an airiness to it, because when I had a Welsh comedian one time say to me, "Oh, let me tell you how to pronounce your name, O Rhiannon," I always seem to add the roll before the R now. I don't know, it's my thing. But Carolyn would sound a lot more earthy and a little bit more throaty and then end in the front of the mouth rather than going backwards. I love language. I love it. I love the variations in the language and how people say things. Oh, it makes me so happy. Alrighty, so we're going to get in. We've got a lot of C's today. We've had Cassie that I wrote twice. I guess we've had a lot of C sounds. Nikki and Kelsey. I woke up at 6 this morning. I'm going to try and space this well. I like it. I don't kind of like it. I really like it when the name fills the page properly. But I get a little bit nervous. I'm getting real good at C's right now. C's and A's. There's been a lot of that. I get nervous that I'm misjudging the space. I always know how to do an R. R's are my favorites for obvious reasons. Well, it's kind of got a little nib there. Sorry, Carolyn. Okay, and then we've got the O. Couldn't just do a circle like most other countries. Did you know I heard that Korean is the perfect alphabet and language? The creator of the Korean language, or the Korean alphabet, wanted to move away from their Chinese influences. And he was like, alright, so I'm going to make an alphabet that shows you the way to say the letter from the position, the shape of the letter. That's so fascinating. So the shape of your mouth is reflected in the letter that you are saying. I think that's so cool. I'm going to use that for Xiaya, I think. Now, they probably have a few different languages, but I like to write in the main one for that thing. So, alrighty. Carolyn! Ta-da! We have Carolyn. Go and be free, my beloved and valuable woman. Thank you so much for being a patron, Carolyn. That's one of the reasons I did this one for you. I hope you really like it. Now you know how to spell your name in Nord-Lichterwald. It would be one of the only names that would get away with having a Y in it like that. They might swap it out for an I occasionally, but I think that's quite... They would think that's an elegant way of spelling it, like a little bit tricky, rather than just being phonetic, which they appreciate. They appreciate when the words that they're spelling are completely phonetic, because most of them are. But this one would be like, oh, your parents wanted people to notice you because you've been given a name with a Y in it in that position where it could have been an I. So yeah, and I think it also adds like a little elegant lilt to it too. So Carolyn, thank you so much for being a patron again. Thank you so much for enjoying the books, and I will see you all in the next video. If you want your name written, please send me a message. I am super happy to do name research. It makes me fill out my world more for you and show you where you would belong. And I love that. I love helping people in my world. And with that, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again in the near future, my lovelies. Bye.